Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm reading to you from John, the 6th chapter, starting at verse 5 and reading through verse 13. Hear now these words. When Jesus looked up and saw a great crowd coming toward him, he said to Philip, "Where shall we buy bread for these people to eat?" Now, he asked this only to test Philip, for Jesus already had in mind what he was going to do. Philip answered him, "It would take more than half a year's wages to buy enough bread for each one to have a bite." Another of Jesus' disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, spoke up. "Here is a boy with 5 small barley loaves and 2 small fish, but how far will they go among so many?" Jesus said, "Have the people sit down." There was plenty of grass in that place, and they sat down. About 5,000 men were there. Jesus took the loaves, gave thanks, and distributed to those who were seated as much as they wanted. He did the same with the fish. When they had all had enough to eat, he said to his disciples, "Gather the pieces that are left over. Let nothing be wasted." So they gathered them and filled 12 baskets with the pieces of the 5 barley loaves left over by those who had eaten. Of course, this is the story of Jesus feeding the 5,000, but 5,000 is only the number of men, and there were women and children there as well. So I'm guessing that it is many, many more than just the 5,000 men. If half of those men came with their wives and their kids, then even if you said the other half were single men, you're still looking at over 10,000 people. And yet, Jesus feeds them all. This miracle is recorded in all 4 of our Gospels. Not all of the miracles are in each of the Gospels, but this one is. This is probably the most famous and well-attributed miracle in all of Jesus' earthly ministry, and he did it with faith. Jesus had faith. He had faith in his disciples to follow his instructions. He had faith in the crowds to sit down and trust him. He had faith in a little boy who had a few loaves of bread and a couple of fish. And these bread loaves were probably only about that big, and the fish were probably much the same size. It's enough for one person to maybe have a meal, and the miracle is that this became the meal for thousands of people. And it happened because Jesus had faith, and his faith was expressed by God's action in making that enough for everyone. The multiplication factor of this miracle is the lesson that we need to hang on to. It doesn't matter how few our resources are, if we will have faith in Jesus and trust God to act, then even our meager resources can become abundantly plentiful, and great things will result. Have faith, my friend. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotion.